my friends, and welcome to episode 115 of the KISS Army Nation podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Pasquale Veri.
And I'm Curtis Pera. Welcome to the show, everyone.
I am so happy, honored, and proud to have back on the show for a third time our good friend David Fremberg to discuss his third KISS Reggae Tribute release, Love Mon. Let's get right to it. Let's welcome David Fremberg. Welcome back to the show, my good friend.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
So awesome, David. Welcome back to the show. And, congratulations on your new album, Love Mon. Of course, we will discuss the album in detail. But before we do that, we would like to know what you were up to, since the last time we talked. So it was over a year ago. And besides Love Mon, what were you doing?
Well, the same usual, I guess. I write music, I tour, do a lot of things in my studio and also live with different bands and stuff. So a couple of Reggae KISS shows, but a lot of other shows as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, as we all know, KISS vinyl has been on a steady uprise with no signs of slowing down. So I think that's good news for everybody. Did you get caught up buying all those vinyl releases, like off the soundboard, the anniversary color variants and all of that?
No, I haven't really. I've been thinking about getting the Creatures LP set, of course, but it hasn't happened yet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, a long time ago, I stopped collecting the singles, the different vinyls. When I was a kid, I tried to collect everything with KISS, but it came to me that I wasn't a middle-aged rich man, so I couldn't. So when I was 10, I focused on what I thought was interesting with the band, like that could really give me something, and that's knowledge about the band. So I collect the books and all the info about the band and unreleased songs, and I love those things. But I quickly stopped buying all the different albums. Of course, not the studio albums, but I'm happy to have one originals in my collection and so on.
Because actually, if, as we were discussing a couple of days ago with Pask, if you want to catch up and try to buy everything that is being released, that's quite a lot of money. That's
yes,
it's a lot of money. It's
a lot of money. Yeah, as I'm spending a lot of money on my studio, so that's why I focus on that.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. So a little teaser for a future episode. We're about to record a discussions panel on KISS books that was released and how it basically adds to our knowledge of KISStory. So you just mentioned that you like to collect KISS books and you collect basically KISS knowledge. So let me ask you, for you, what are some of the books that you feel best adds to our KISStory? Best adds to our knowledge?
Yeah, I really love Kiss and Sell by Lent. That's a good
Chris
one.
Lent, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think I read it 3 times or something. It's so good. And there's a Swedish old book that really sucks, but it meant a lot to me when I was a kid growing up. It was called KISS Still on Fire, that came out in the mid-'80s.
Oh, yeah.
And then that, for me, that was like the holy grail, because you couldn't find any KISS knowledge anywhere growing up. They didn't play KISS on radio. It wasn't on TV. And in Sweden, in the mid-'80s, KISS were not that popular. So it was really hard to get to know the band. So that book, I had it everywhere with me and just read it over and over again. So that meant a lot.
Oh, nice. Now, I know that you didn't buy the Destroyer Creatures box set. You're going to buy Creatures soon. And you're not really into collecting the vinyl. But just curious, what would you like to see as a fan for the next soundboard release and the next box set?
Well, a box set with, Lick It Up or something would be pretty cool for me. Mm. There's a lot, a box set for all the old albums is really cool. Dress to Kill, or why not the first album? Next
the debut
year.
album. Yeah.
That would be really cool. And they had a lot of stuff to dig from there, I think, to make cool bonus material as well. Mm-hmm. So that would be nice. And off the soundboard, of course, I have to think about the concerts I went to. That would be awesome. To have like KISS in 1988, or why not my first show with them with makeup in 96 in Gothenburg. That would be awesome to have up the sound.
And David, we always find it fascinating to know what is happening in other countries related to KISS. We just mentioned, your first show and Sweden and everything related. So being the end of the road for the band, how is KISS being perceived in Sweden these days?
I mean, really, really well. I mean, Sweden has always been, I think, one of the really top countries for KISS. Early on, in 1976, when they did their European first tour, the highlight of the tour was in Stockholm, and most places they played for like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people, but in Stockholm it was 15,000. So,
wow.
And that has continued. I mean, in '97 when they were here in Stockholm, they sold out the Stockholm Stadium twice, 2 nights in a row, 35,000 people each night, and that was. Nobody did that before them. No, Michael Jackson, no one. So Sweden has always been a really good KISS country. And right now, they were just here the other day, did 2 shows in a very special venue up north called Dalhalla, which is in...
we saw some pictures. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Very classic concert venue. So, and that was sold out, and they got great reviews. So, yeah. I mean, KISS in Sweden. It's a big band.
Of course. Did you manage to be there in those shows?
No, the thing is, there's 2 reasons, actually. One is that it's really far away. I mean, it's 1,000 kilometers away from me or more.
Wow.
Okay. So I could more easily go to Germany from where I live, because Sweden is so long. So if you turn us upside down, because I live in the very south, then you end up in Spain. So, it's very far away.
Right.
And also for me, I took goodbye last year in Gothenburg when they were here last summer, when I saw them for what I thought was the last show. Mm-hmm. And that was such an epic show for me. I mean, I really, really enjoyed it. And it was such a closure. I cried in the end when Paul, he said, "Thank you for everything." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, for everything. I know." So it was really emotional, and it was such a good closure for me. So that's why, I decided not to go there.
Good. Good call.
That's an interesting point, because a lot of fans are speculating that after the final show in New York, KISS may or may not do one-off shows. And that might be a bit of a letdown for the fans who were going to go to the New York shows, because, they said it was the final show, but it's not. But you know what? What's important is that it's the final show for us. And what it means to the fan who saw KISS for their last time. I think that's what we need to focus on. I think that's amazing for any fan going to see their final show. It's just that special that if you went to New York, in Sweden, whatever your final show is, it's going to be special.
Yeah,
it's whatever it's special for you, right? So as David was saying, I admire you so much, because you can put a closure, and even if they are playing like not too far away from you, like for instance in Germany, you decide not to go. That's awesome, and I love it. It's because for you it was that specific show that it was the end of history for you, at least live, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really was. So. And I think KISS won't be able to sit home for very long. I think they never said that it was the last show. They just said end on the road. So I'm pretty sure they would do something.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they've been doing this since they were kids. I mean, they don't know anything else. So
exactly.
So I don't think they can sit still for that long. No, we'll see.
Exactly. Okay, so we're going to talk about the album in a few minutes, Love Mon. I just love that the title. It has that party feel to it when you say it. Let's put on some Love Mon and let's party. I think it's an appropriate title, such an appropriate title. But what's also fun is that you release an awesome song called "We Want to Be on KISS Cruise." Yeah. Now, tell us about that. Now, did you do it just for fun? Was it a message to Sixmen? A little bit of both.
I think both. I mean, the thing was, since we started the band, we just jokingly said they have to invite us to the KISS cruise, man, because it's a perfect match. And we just waited for the call for so long. So finally I said, let's do a song where we just beg to get on the cruise. I mean, no band has ever done that before. I mean, do a whole song just for a gig. So it was a fun thing to do. And also, like, come on, man, give us a call.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
So, yeah.
How long have you been trying? Since which cruise?
No, I don't know. We started like 6 years ago or something. So
Wow.
quite a while.
Yeah, yeah. But do you believe there's going to be another KISS cruise?
I hope so. I mean, as I understand it, it was the Norwegian Pearl that decided to no longer do any rock cruises.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I wouldn't be surprised if some other company took over and continued with or without KISS, I guess. But
oh, that's interesting.
Oh, that's news to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, one more question about the cruise. Would you be just as interested playing a KISS cruise without the band? So it's basically like a KISS Cruise Expo.
Yeah, of course. I mean, just meeting true KISS fans is always the best. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and it's like the perfect venue for us to play also in front of the diehard KISS fans.
Mm-hmm.
So Dave, let's jump right into Love Mon. Okay, so being your third album, was it more difficult to choose the songs that could go onto the album?
In a way, I mean, not that difficult, but yeah, it took some effort. We always take a lot of time thinking about what could work and what would be really great. So a little more time, but it went pretty smooth this time.
You have I couldn't call it a long list that then becomes a short list, but I was thinking as I was listening to it, do you go through all of the albums and then basically you reject whatever you recorded before, or is it about the vibe with the band? Is it more the stuff that you like? How do you pick the songs?
Well, actually, I can sit down with just all the KISS albums and just see the titles and think, oh, that could work, and then just with acoustic guitar, just try it out a little. And then, that wouldn't work. Or, yeah, probably. And then I write a list and then take some off until you have 10, 12 songs left finally.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Was there any song that basically you were experimenting and then at the end you decided not to put on the album?
Yeah, actually, we recorded Firehouse as well.
Oh.
That didn't turn out... so good. I mean, the thing for us is it's not a joke, because we really give our heart to the music as well. It's not just making fun of songs. I mean, we really try to do them justice and make them into just showing how good these songs are. I mean, they could be done in so many ways. A really good song is a good song. So that's when we do them as reggae versions. We really want to make the songs shine and be great songs. So when we did Firehouse, I felt that this feels like it's just fun, It didn't sound really credible, so we took that one out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's true because, you can tell by listening to all three albums that, the renditions that you guys come up with, it's so... if you're a KISS fan, you know that you guys are KISS fans because you pay attention to every single detail. Even the raps from Paul, in some of the songs, they're still there, and you mix things up. So that's amazing. That's amazing. I know what you're saying. Yeah,
we do a lot of small things that I don't think people recognize. Also, I mean, I don't know how many realize that in the end of Hotter Than Hell, we do Rip and Destroy.
Absolutely.
So yeah, there's a lot of small things, and I mean really small nerdy things. It was like our keyboard player, he arranged the horn parts for Beth for our second album, and there's like a really nice melody going through the song. The keyboard player that arranged that part, he came to me, "Do you recognize it?" And I was like, No, I really don't. Well, that's the second violin, in the original.
Oh my God!
Like, wow, that's super nerdy, man.
But, what I love about the way you write the songs and the arrangements. I don't know if it happens the same to you, Pask, but as you start listening to the song, the first, let's say tambourines or drum fills or whatever, you don't know what song that is.
That's right.
So it's so amazing. Then when you start singing and you start listening to some of the chords and the riffs there, say, oh, there you go. I was so excited when I just to put a name with Exciter. That's incredible. That's incredible, man. That song is unbelievable.
That's one of my favorite songs, actually. And actually, the first song that got me really hooked on KISS was Exciter.
Ah, yeah.
So that means a lot to me, that song.
Wow.
So that I'm really happy about that one. And yes, that rendition has gained so much love from people that don't know KISS and people that do. And
absolutely.
It turned out great.
No, Claudio, you're so right about, listening to the first bars of the song and trying to recognize what it is. And you can't think, oh my God, that's this song or that's this song. That's a fun game to play with these records. But I've also played another game with Lovemon. So before I listened to the record, I asked myself, which songs do I think are going to be the most challenging to play reggae style before I heard the album? So my first thoughts were, how is Psycho Circus, Hide Your Heart, and War Machine going to translate reggae style? Now, was I right? Were those three really challenging to do reggae style? And which ones were most challenging for you?
I think perhaps Psycho Circus.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, Hide Your Heart a bit, but it came together more easily than I thought. So yeah, Hide Your Heart or Psycho Circus was a bit difficult because we have different tempos within the song and stuff. So, but yeah, the thing is with 80s KISS, it's much more advanced harmony wise with modulations, the new keys and back and forth. And so that's pretty hard to do as credible reggae because they would never do that. So that's why we haven't played a lot of the 80s songs. I really would love to have some of them, but it wouldn't sound right, so it's easier with the 70s songs to make it credible.
Right. That's the thing. I'm not a musician, but I tend to think that 80s KISS songs were a lot more complex than the 70s by far, especially what we hear on Revenge and even Carnival of Souls. So what do you think? Do you think the 80s stuff is a lot more challenging to play? Not necessarily just reggae style, but just playing the songs as is.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's always, as a musician, there's always two parts to the story. I mean, if it's technically difficult or if it's, not emotionally, but to make a really simple song really good, that's one of the hardest things to do. People think that a drummer that can play 100 beats a second is super, wow, that's the most challenging thing you can do. But one of the best drummers I know here in Sweden, he practiced just going for years because, I mean, that's really hard to do really well. I mean, listen to AC/DC. Without Phil Rudd, they would be nothing, and a lot of other bands. So to do the simple thing, but really make that rock, that's hard. I mean, to do a song like Strutter or all those old songs that are really simple, but to make them stand out, that's the trick.
True. And, that's a really good point, Dave, because you might think that when you listen sometimes to tribute albums, which is not the case with Reggae KISS, so they take any song and then kind of convert it into whatever, either heavy metal or something symphonic or blah blah blah. But it's true, you guys should pay so much attention that not every KISS song can be a reggae song, because you do not convert the song into something reggae, so you create a new song. Right?
Yeah. So it's interesting and it's challenging, but really fun musically to do.
Yeah, very much. Yeah. So, Dave, you guys, you've been on the road for long now, and when you guys released, when any band released multiple albums, comparisons are inevitable. Okay, so you tend to compare all the time. So I do not believe we can compare which albums are better than others, because all the songs work. And if you listen to your 3 albums, the quality of the music never diminishes. It goes, even better and better. So would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's kind of hard to be objective. So, because for every album, I put even more effort as a producer. So, of course, your latest child is your favorite, I guess. So, I mean, I put so much time and effort into Love Man, so I'm really proud of it. Mm-hmm. But the others as well, I mean, of course. But it really stands out for me. I mean, all the attention to detail, and
it does, and it shows. And how was perceived by the fans? How was it received?
I mean, really well. Heard so many good things about it. People seems to like it.
Okay, fine.
Just hope we get even more people to hear it. So yeah,
of course. And we know that Bruce, he's always been very vocal about what you guys do. So any word from Bruce Kulick on this one?
Yeah, he actually sent us a message that he was really impressed with Who Wants to Be Lonely, and like, great keyboard solo, man.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's fun. But it's really cool with how it's perceived, I mean, live for us, because when we play live, it's so fun to see the audience. You don't have to be a KISS fan to like it.
Yeah.
But, so some friends that brought their girlfriends, and they are like, wow, this is the best concert I've been to in my life. And they don't even like KISS. So that's a really good thing. We got a cool live thing going we're a 10-piece band, with backup singers and horn section and percussion and everything. And we got it just developed really nicely throughout the years with our interaction on stage. The girls, my persona as Reggae Paul has grown also, with and the girls come and feed me grapes and drinks on stage, and we have a lot of fun, because Reggae Paul is
he's such a character.
He's a special guy.
He's a special and what you were saying about the show, I could die to be on one of your shows, but it is true, because you don't have to be a KISS fan, because they are great songs, and it's about fun. I was thinking, while I was listening to your albums, I said, I can put this album on a party here at home or anywhere, and people don't even know that they are KISS songs, and it would be a blast. This is great songs.
Yeah, I heard that from so many friends that I would put it on our summer party for the company.
Absolutely.
3 times in a row.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I heard Love Man once alone, right? But every time I find myself playing Reggae KISS, I have to listen now to all 3 albums from beginning to end, because to me, it's one album. It's one album, So whenever I listen to Reggae KISS, I have to devote some time, because I sit back and I listen, man. But even as background music when I'm doing something, it is the best for cleaning the house, because I get the job done, man. Because wow, that's a fantastic motivator.
That's a good one for
fantastic motivator.
That's an advert right there. The best cleaning album ever.
That's a nice out.
Want to clean your house?
Put on some Reggae KISS, man.
Put on Love Man.
So we all know that Love Man is available on Spotify. How can fans get a hold of the album, the record?
Yeah, the vinyl. The easiest thing is to just either go through our homepage, reggaekiss.com, or the most easy way is to just send us a PM through Facebook, and hook you up with.
Okay. Yeah. And are the last 2
albums
right still available? Oh, that's a nice cover too.
Yeah, we got lots of good pictures, and
look at that.
We got some inserts as well. So we got this. It's really nice. It's like the KISS Army diploma from the 70s that we converted to Reggae KISS diploma, of course.
Wow, nice.
And a sticker as well.
Put the album back on. What was the thinking behind the artwork for this one?
Yeah, that's a really good story. It's actually, when I started 7th grade, they put 2 schools together in one. So I made a new best friend, Tobias, and we both like Kiss, and I played music, but he was drawing. He was really good at drawing. So the thing was, we became like best friends, and it broke my heart when after 1 year his parents decided they were moving to Germany. So we like lost contact. We stayed pen pals for a couple of years, but then lost contact. And just a couple of years ago, I reached out and found him on Facebook.
Oh, nice.
And turns out he's back in Sweden, and of course he works as a full-time comic drawer, you know, for some of the biggest comics in Sweden. So I just asked him, like, would he be interested in doing our third cover? And he was like, hell yeah. So yeah.
Very cool.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And are the last 2 albums still available for purchase?
They are. Yeah, we have copies left.
Good. Now, I know earlier we talked about variants and things like that, right? And there's such a steady flow of KISS variants and anniversary releases. Any plans to release variant versions of the last 2 records?
Well, actually, we've been thinking about that. It would be really cool to do Reggae Kiss, the originals.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
No, that's good.
The
Call.
CD, the CD set. Because we haven't released anything on CD yet. So it would be cool to do all 3 albums on a CD set. Like the originals.
Nice.
Oh, that's fantastic. Would you do it on vinyl as well?
I'm not sure. Maybe. We'll see. But
wow.
That's the plan. It would be nice to do a Reggae Kiss Live and a Reggae Kiss originals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Reggae Kiss Alive. That would be cool.
And then you can come up with a Japanese version, you know.
Yeah.
Wow, love it. Love.
Strutter 24 or something.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, Dave.
We'll see.
You know, before we wrap up the show, we would like to get your thoughts on some of the topics that we discussed lately in previous episodes. So, for example, we mentioned that it's up to KISS fans to keep the memory of KISS alive after the end of the road. And will Reggae Kiss take on that challenge?
Yeah, I mean, we'll go on, and we have so much fun doing this. I mean, it's just for the love of the band and love of music and the fun, and that's what KISS is about, I guess, having a good time. So yeah, we'll keep going, see how it goes.
Awesome, that's good news. And I know that we talked about this in the past, but when we started the episode, but we would love you to maybe elaborate a bit more. So, what do you think will happen to the band after December the 2nd? So, do you think that will it truly be over?
I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it was a Las Vegas residency in a year, or if they do some special shows, some festival, or maybe Kiss Cruise. You don't know, but I guess they will take some time off in the beginning. I'm sure Paul will do his Soul Station and so forth.
That was my question. Okay.
Yeah, and but I think it might tingle a bit to get back together and do something. And it's been a while, I guess.
Yeah.
Without the heavy clothing, or just without makeup, or what happens?
That's right. Yeah. What's your take on this? And I don't. It's not my intention to create any controversy here, but what's your take on the latest drama of Peter and Ace making into the final shows and blah blah blah? So what's your take on that one?
Well, it's so hard. I mean, it's so complex, and when you're outside of family, it's really hard to know what it's really about. I mean, you hear stuff and you hear speculations all the time. So I don't know. It's hard, and of course, it would be so great if they were there. It'd be real closure for the band, for just a song or two. That would be so cool. And if it's just about the economics, then I don't really see the reason not to do it, because it's for the fans. But
right.
Yeah, but if that would be needed, I mean, why not throw in some money for them? I mean, I think they have plenty.
Well, I believe that from and this is just me speaking here. So from Paul and Jean's point of view, it's not really needed, because they're going to celebrate, the history of the band with 2 full, Madison Square Garden, with sharing the time with Tommy and Eric that they well deserve, being there. So
and also, I mean, Eric Singer's been in the band almost 30 years.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
He's been there way longer than Peter has ever been. And Tommy as well, he's been there for a long time. So for them, I think it feels great to do the closure with those people that they really like and enjoy and feel comfortable with. But I mean, a song or two, that would be really nice.
Yeah.
That would be.
Got it.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. It's not over yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to plug another show, Kiss Army Things. Xandro, one of the episodes, basically talked about his perspective on the possible return of Peter and Ace. And I think people should listen to that because it's a very interesting perspective. And I tend to agree with them 100%. Personally, I hope the band ends it where they are right now. I believe that Ace and Peter are not necessary to make that show any bigger, because we're the ones that are going to come in with our own history, our own memories of the band. It's going to be special for each of us individually. And whether Peter and Ace are there, it won't make it any more or less special, I believe, to the fans. No. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, Dave, you mentioned earlier that you put more and more of your heart and soul with each release of Reggae Kiss. So in a sense, they become more challenging with each subsequent release. So what are the next challenges for you coming up?
Well, we'll just take it as it is. I mean, I'm thinking that like in the future, we might do like singles or an EP or something. It can be really hard to do a full album more. We'll see. But we'll take it as we have a really good repertoire now with all 3 albums. So if you want to go play live, we have a lot of music to dig from. So it's and for me, I mean, I work as a producer, so this has taken a lot of my time. So so I need kind of a break of doing the production for albums right now. So, but I'm sure I will be really into doing something new eventually.
Fantastic.
I have a fun Kiss story if you have the time.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I was in England writing songs with Russ Ballard.
Wow. Okay.
So I was at his place for 2 days. That was really fun.
Oh, wow.
Hearing all those stories and seeing, the awards for a solo album on the wall and all the others. He's done so many songs like Since You've Been Gone, and I mean with the ABBA girls, and he's done Santana. He's done a lot of big songs over the years.
Wow,
and he told me some really cool.
Yeah.
He told me some cool Kiss stories. I really tried to like milk him for the information, So, and I came up with some cool anecdotes. It was that Eddie Kramer actually phoned him up in '78 and said that we're gonna record in your groove now, and how do you feel about that? And they stayed on the phone for an hour. That's pretty nice.
Wow.
Yeah. First hand.
And he also told me that I remember I saw Kiss a couple of times early on because he was playing with Argent, and that's when they wrote God Rock and Roll to You. And they toured with Kiss a lot in the early, like 74 and 75, and then he quit the band. But he was like, I saw Kiss 2 times in New York really early on, like maybe in 74. And then he said, I remember St. Louis. And I was like, St. Louis? I remember there's something about that gig. And I just checked my phone and that's the famous gig when, the story about they had to put the road manager in a case because he didn't want Kiss to do encores. I was like, did you know that was at your gig? And he was like, I had no idea. He thought it was hilarious. But he told me one thing that was really interesting that I haven't read anywhere. And that's that KISS wasn't the first choice for God Gave a Call to You.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Wow.
That they came to him early on and said, "How we like this song and it would be perfect for the movie." But he told me that it was maybe 6 bands that did versions of it before KISS. And that's when they realized this is the one we want. And that's interesting.
Very. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that song was such a big thing for KISS as well. I mean, it was really important, like leading up to the reunion. So yeah, it's fun fact.
It would be awesome to hear those other songs, from the other bands.
Yeah, I don't know how far gone those demos were or anything, but yeah.
Wow, you must have been in KISS heaven.
Yeah, we jammed on God Gave a Call to You with 2 guitars.
No,
wow.
No way.
And I gave him a copy of the first album as well, and he was really happy. We have New York Groove on it.
Yeah.
Real legend.
Oh man, tell me about it. Very cool. So Dave, before we close the curtain on this episode, what would you like to say to the Reggae KISS Army?
Well, just spread the word, spread the love, and really hope we get sometimes to play a show for you somewhere, somehow.
And push so that you guys are on the next cruise.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Push it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I hope Gene and Paul gets to hear it as well. It's quite a direct message.
Yeah.
Have you tried, given your kind of a close relationship with Bruce? Have you tried to spread the word with him, because he's always part of the cruise lineup? So have you tried?
No, I haven't sent it to him. Just sent him the songs from the album. Yeah, so maybe I should.
Yeah, because he could be a good pusher, So
yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So, Dave, you have no idea, how much, fun, and it's a pleasure always to have you here in the show. You're part of the KISS Army Nation podcast family now. So being with us 3 times, and we can wait to have you again. So again, congrats on the new release. You guys are real pros, and you can tell that it comes from your heart. So, thanks for everything that you're doing. This is fascinating.
Thank you very much. Happy to hear that.
Dave, I remember the first time we contacted you to be on the show for the first album, and I thought, oh, we're never gonna get him. Reggae KISS is huge. It's gonna, there's no way. And now here you are for the 3rd time, and it's nice talking to you about the album, and then going back and listening to it, because we come at it with a different perspective, a behind the scenes perspective, and as a fan, I get a better appreciation, a deeper appreciation for what you do and the music. And I hope our listeners get the same experience after listening to you on our episode. Go back, listen to the album, and just enjoy it, because it's amazing.
Great. Thanks.
So once again, my good friend, thank you so much for being on the show. And we hope to have you back very soon.
Oh, I hope the same. Thank you.
To the KISS Army, we hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, please send them to talktome@kissarmynationpodcast.com. Until the next time, remember, never stop rocking. Take care, everyone.
We want to play on the KISS cruise. Oh, yeah. We want to play on the KISS cruise. Listen up. Salt and pepper like plus and minus, made to be together like reggae on a KISS cruise. It's the most natural thing in the world, the ultimate bonus, like the sun on Jamaica. Can't get much better, this match made in heaven. Why haven't you called us? We've been waiting forever. We were made to be playing on that sea. It's our destiny, can't you see? We want to play on that KISS cruise. We should be playing all night long. We want to play on the KISS cruise. That's right. understand me?
Want to play on the KISS?
We want to play. Come into your chimney.
Want to play on the KISS?
We want to play on the KISS crew.
Want to play on the KISS?
We want to play. Invite us.
We want to play. We want to play. We want to play. We want to play all night. We want to play. We want to play. We want to play. We want to play all night. We want to play. We want to play. We want to play. We want to play all night. We want to play. We want to play.
If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe on YouTube or follow us on Spotify, Automatic, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to make yourself heard. Leave us a comment on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. See you all soon, KISS Army.